Congo has been braving a combination of scorching heat and heavy downpour. Recently, rains led to floods that damaged property and even killed people. The worst affected are in Dolisie, south of Pointe Noire, battered on March 3rd. Poultry and cattle also affected.
When
I went out to see my little sisters a few seconds later, the water level reached my knees. It was not easy. I couldn't pick anything from the house. I just took my sister's children and we sought refuge on top of that mountain, and there you could hear how the trees and the water made noise. It was dangerous and scary.
It's an experience they are still struggling to come to terms with. At least 4 people died, but only 1 body was discovered.
I know 4 people died, 3 children of 4 and 3 years old, and a lady of 20 years old. This happened around 4 p.m. after the rain.
Some 1,000 people live here and more than half of them have been affected, still in shock.
It
is not possible. Take a good look at this wall. The water level when it rains is so high. Children cannot stand that level. Adults cannot also stand it at all. A 30-year-old would not also make it. In fact, men, children will drown if they get close to it. Anyone who attempted will get dragged to die.
The Banda family supplied vegetables to Pointe Noire, but with the destruction of their farm and produce, they are stuck.
A violent wind blew through the trees. It's sad what happened here. On Sunday, we went to church and back to our homes. And then around 3 p.m., it started drizzling. After a few minutes, we were surprised by the heavy waves of water that flooded the houses. Even the cattle fled. The hens fled. There were deaths. We had to flee the village for shelter. We lost everything because the houses collapsed and we lost property. I don't have any other place to live. We were taken to Mukondo. It's where I live.
It's a loss that has got Kaya Kasie back to square one.
This stretch of almost a hectare belonged to me. I had planted some onions that were ready for harvest and sell. I had gone to Pointe Noire to sell these green onions. But suddenly the children called me and asked me to come back to the village because everything was soaked in water. Everything was immersed. Motorcycle pumps, insecticide, nearly 45 planks of extension. Everything is gone and nothing has been recovered. Nothing.
Gabriel Ngwibi lost a daughter and grandchildren after waters swept away homes.
I am confused. How can I carry out my responsibilities after this situation? I would like the state to help me. I do not have the means. My daughter, who used to keep my money, went away with it. Even when a dog disappears, we look for it. How much more a human being? For me, I would say a river has become a graveyard.
They are appealing for international help.
I'd like to know if Trump is human. Let him come and see what's happening here. People made great conclusions in Paris to save humanity. Is he really honest?
A mystery to those superstitious.
Mermaids cause the rain because they get angry anytime the people disturb them. And just from where they live, everything is okay in that village. But away from there, we see the rain.
Gaston Bussieri has another explanation, much to do with the terrain.
Let me explain what happened. Preliminary reports from the bishop indicate this was not man-made. It was caused by nature. Experts were sent to evaluate the situation, that is, to know what caused the floods at Banda. They discovered that the Banda is found in a valley. Erosion brings debris to the river, carrying along logs and other material. The accumulation around Yumvu and the bridge blocked the normal flow of the river. The flood was therefore inevitable.
Since 1932, this is the first time that inhabitants of Le Banda have experienced such a situation. Many feel as though it's hell on earth, and some now rely on humanitarian assistance to rebuild their lives. Authorities of the Niari department immediately set in motion a contingency plan.
The authorities immediately implemented a contingency plan for when disasters like these happen. Those who were displaced got quickly relocated to a camp in Mukondo. There are more than 500 people surviving under this shelter. That's half of the community now living in a camp.
Nous sommes arrivés ici le dimanche à pareille heure, c'est-à-dire les 18 heures.
We arrived here on Sunday around 6 p.m. The army vehicles brought us here. Some city officials were here too. They brought us some food. They brought us meals. We ate on Monday and Tuesday. We have not been starving. No, we have not been. We cannot say that the authorities are not doing nothing for us. Saying that will be very ungrateful. They have been doing their bit. However, we appeal to them that they should think more about us and bring us some more food, because it looks like we're going to be here for very long.
There will be more rains in the next 2 months. It's been barely a week since the flooding. While some refuse to return back to their homes in fear of another disaster, a few are already rebuilding, putting up homes from zero ground with the hope life will soon return to normal.